So our second one, right, is kind of my baby. And I can't do it without the team that's kind of over there, and you saw probably earlier. But it was one of the first unmet needs that we found, right? Everyone's seeing something about concussion. You saw the movie, you read the news, you said, yeah, okay, concussion's a problem. But what is concussion? Well, it's not as simple as, a broken leg. We can't really diagnose that. And that's part of the problem that the community has, is how do we objectively and quantifiably say this concussive state? And what really struck us and what really bugged us at the beginning was we found that in America alone, there are 5 million concussions every year. So that's a large number, but then we found that up to 30% of those concussions that happen go undiagnosed or untreated. So that's over 1 million people annually in the United States alone that don't receive the care from a mild traumatic brain injury. Right? Those are the same people that are my kids, they're your kids, they're your parents, they're your grandparents, right? It's a whole community, it's not just the sports that are affected by this. So we did our assessment, we went through and we said, okay, well, why has this not been solved yet, right? It doesn't seem like it's that hard to do, and someone should have been thinking about this a long time ago. Well, we've come to find out that it's slow to maturation from technology, because the technology just hasn't been there yet. As you can see behind me, it started off with a pen and paper test, and it's gotten a little bit of technology added to it through the years, the past 15 or 20 years. But the key to that is all of these tests require a professional, require a clinician to assess the concussion. That does mom and dad absolutely no good when they're at a Pee Wee football game on Saturday, right? So what we're trying to do is say, I'm going to take the technology that these guys use right now, and I'm going to make a way that I can push this out to the masses, right? And so what is the easiest way to do that? Well, cell phone technology is quite possibly some of the strongest, will be the strongest medical diagnostic tool coming down the pipe. And all we're doing is we're utilizing this technology to push this out. We've had the opportunity to reach out to the NFL. We've talked to Founders Institute, Rev 1, even our own hospital systems, our neurologists, saying, hey, this is absolutely the thing we need. We come out to the community and we talk to you guys as well. So we get a lot of traction. We've got a lot of people who say, how do I help you? Right? And that's what we're coming to today. In fact, we've gotten a little bit of, I'll say a little bit, it's an understatement, but when we went out to the NFL, we actually got hooked up through Mr. Munoz, and some of you guys are probably familiar with him, as a Cincinnati Bengal and former Hall of Famer, or current Hall of Famer, former Bengal, but we didn't kick you out. And so he's a member of the NFL. I'm going to mess this up, but it's a Player Safety Advisory Panel. There we go. And their mission is to go out and actually find technologies that actually are quantitative, that are on the sideline. And so when he got word about our project here, he said, hey, this is very important, right? This is important at all levels. And he actually asked to be part of our journey. And so as our first board member for VI, I'd like to turn it over real quick to Anthony Munoz.
Thanks, Slater. Do you know something I don't know? Was I taken off the Hall of Fame? Have fun. Have fun. It's a pleasure to be with you this morning, and I appreciate the opportunity to share a few minutes. I'm standing up here, and when I was driving up here, I'm like, what am I doing here? I'm used to hitting people. That was my son's line. I stole it from him. But I am excited to be here this morning and to be able to share a few minutes about why exactly I am here. So I don't assume that everybody knows my background, knows about me, especially when I look out here and I see young people. It's like, who is this guy? Older people, you might know. But just quickly, 13 years with the Cincinnati Bengals, 11 Pro Bowls. I was fortunate enough in 1998 to be inducted in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And after we retired in 92, my wife and I, we have Michael, my son, with me here, and we have a daughter. We decided to stay in Cincinnati because we love it here. We love the people here. So I'm asked that all the time. Why didn't you move back to Southern California? You stayed in Cincinnati. I said, who wants all that sand in your shoes? But I do. I love the people here. We fell in love, and the community embraced us, so that's why we're here. I've been retired for 24 years, and why am I standing up here as I am involved with Vi? Because in the 24 years that I've been retired, after playing 13 years in the NFL, I've stayed connected with the NFL office and the game. Different boards, different committees. And I'd say the committee, or the panel that I've been on for the last 3 or 4 years, that really gets me excited because I love the game of football, NFL, college, youth football, high school, every level. And the commissioner established this player safety advisory panel led by John Madden, Ronnie Lott, and then former players and former general managers and some medical people to have input on how we can keep this great game great, but really look at the safety issues, continuing to look at methods and tools how we can improve the safety of this great game. So concussions, as we know, has been out there, been talked about. And when I heard about Vi, and when I heard about this concussion diagnostic app, I'm saying I have got to get involved. And of course, my son had the initial contact, so we've gotten involved with Vi. Because there is a tremendous need for this concussion diagnostic app. Not only on the NFL level, but in all levels of football, in all sports. Because those of us that played the game of football, of course, concussions are talked a lot about football, but we understand that all the other sports, there's also a lot of concussions. So the fact that we have this tool that is in much need for athletics, and I know myself as a former athlete, as a dad who watched his son play 4 years at the University of Tennessee, and has had a daughter who played basketball 1 year at Tennessee, and then 3 at the Ohio State University. But I do have to say, you do have a Trojan up here, so USC. So I wore scarlet and gray for 3 years, I got to admit that. I wore orange and white for 4 years. That has kids that played sports, and now looking at 8 grandkids that are potentially going to play sports. I'm excited about Vi and the technology they have, and that's why I'm involved with Vi. Because not only is it needed, but they have the tool. We have the tool. Not only to get in the hands of the NFL trainers, but think about it. Youth leagues, to have the trainers and the parents with this app to diagnose concussions. I remember the days when, I had 1 concussion, and I came off. Trainer held how many fingers, gave me a little smelling salts. Said, I'm ready. No, your huddle's that way, Anthony, not that way. But now, the technology is such that we know exactly what's going on. And make sure that we continue the protocol and make sure these young men and women are fine before they get back into action. So that's why I'm excited about being here this morning and being part of Vi and being part of this great app because it is much needed. And I'll continue to say it is needed. And to see the potential of getting this on all levels in all sports. So again, thank you for allowing me just to share a little bit about my background and why I'm so excited. And not to mention the Player Safety Advisory, not only to mention the Player Safety Advisory panel that we met with up in New York, or Ken. We met with the head of Player Safety and Wellness in New York. But it excites me because of the phone calls I can make and we can make as a team and get in front of all levels. And we know if the NFL decides to do something, we'll have the trickle-down effect. But it's not, like I said, I can't emphasize, it's not only about the highest level, it's about the youth. And caring about our youth and making sure that they can experience at least what I had a chance to experience through junior high, high school, college, and then 13 years in the NFL with this app. So thank you very much, and I'll turn it back over to Slater, and have a great day.
Thank just going to let him do the talks. Thanks, really appreciate those words, and this is very important. But just to kind of wrap things up from the ascend to action advice standpoint, what we're doing here is we've told you kind of our story. We're trying to, say it's really Dayton. It's our collective story, right? So we want you guys to know that we are, here, and we are doing, our thing, but it becomes our thing. We want you to be a part of this $8 billion healthcare economic impact in Dayton. So we have access to 35,000 clinicians and employees just in this local area alone. We have numerous ideas that need to be explored to support healthcare. We've already accessed 60 ideas to date in just a little over a year. 16 of those have made it into our pipeline, still there being evaluated. So in 13 months of operation, we already, as we said today, we've got 2 close to launch, all from 1 healthcare invention lab. So we're asking the community here today to join us as we continue this journey. And I thank you for your time.